Good morning. Welcome to the JagCorner. I'm Will Thorup. I am your host, and this week we are doing a bit of programming. We've been working on the BitJag demo, which is an old demo that I did clear back in 2014, which was 8 years ago. Wow, it's been almost a decade. And I used that demo as a opportunity to better learn C code, first of all, and second of all, to learn the removers library, which is a free engine for the Atari Jaguar to build games off of. I worked with my brother Bryce on that, and we were doing a lot more back then. We're still doing stuff nowadays, but his interests have always haven't been as focused as me in terms of the in regards to the Jaguar, and so. But I still talk with him. I still rely on him quite a bit when I run into problems. He's been a good mentor, and we're actually planning on having him here on the stream again soon. I got my Atari 800 fixed up. It's running now. I had to replace the PIA chip. It's just a chip that I think it handles most of the input-output on the console, on the computer. And so my controllers were acting funny, and so people on Atari Age were suggesting that was probably the issue. And sourcing those chips are really simple, and so simple and cheap. They're all over the place, and so you're able to. There's like 2 or 3 different alternative chips that you could get that fit into They have the same package, so it's just a 40 pin package. You just drop it in there and it works, which is really cool. The other issue with it was the keyboard. The keyboard. It's the is it Mitsu something, I can't remember. It's a Japanese brand, of course, but so you have the keys, you have a membrane, and then you have the circuit board, and the keys just press down on the membrane, and there's a little metal thing that touches the circuit board, and that's what types on the screen. That's how it types. And the membrane, the metal part on the bottom of the membrane, oxidizes over time, and so you have to carefully peel that away from the circuit board and just take a little bit of really high grit sandpaper, go over that, and clear off the oxidization. Doing that fixed it immediately, and so the keyboard's working great. I have a SD card reader coming for it, so we can read just floppy disk images. And Bryce, he heard that I had done this with my Atari 800, and he grew up with that computer more than I did. I have some faint memories of playing Bruce Lee and Ghostbusters and Star Raiders on it, and we had an Atari 800 XL at one point, and I think it was my brother, one of my other brothers, his first computer, and he got that from a school or something, if I remember correctly, and so we had this computer, but I believe we had the Atari ST before we had the Atari 800. And so the Atari 800 was kind of in the background most of the time, and so but Bryce has some good memories with that. Because it's like most consoles, a multiplayer console, he was suggesting, and I was suggesting, and one of us was suggesting that we do a stream together again. It's been a few years, and play some Atari 800 games, and so that's going to be in the near future. I have the SD card reader coming. What's really cool about the Atari 800 is it has native S video. This is when did that come out? 1979, or was it 82? It's one of those. It's around there. I think the Commodore was 82, but anyways, it has a native S video support, so we'll be able to get a decent picture out of it. I don't have any other upgrades on the console itself. I know there's an upgrade that improves the video, allows you to just tune in the video signal really, really well. I may do that in the future. I've also been looking at the incognito board as well as an upgrade. And then I won't even need the SD card reader anymore. But that is quite the involved modification, and I think I'm up for it. I just don't want to spend the time doing that modification right now. I was watching. I can't remember the channel. There's a lady who does a lot of she does a lot of Amiga stuff because that's what she grew up with, but she did an Atari 800 video where she's installing the incognito. She has this cat. Other people have probably seen her videos. They're pretty good videos. She has this cat that's constantly, she spends a lot of video time on the cat coming and teasing her and taking up her desk space and stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, so look forward to that in the future. That was kind of a tangent. I don't have much news, so this is probably why I'm talking about this a bit more. But yeah, if anybody's in the chat, shout out. Today's going to be a pretty relaxed day. The BitJag demo, we have, I actually have a list. Yesterday I did a review of the code and came up with just a short list. We could get through it all today. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I don't see it there. In fact, I don't even see... Okay, let me see if I can get to the project here really quick. Not as prepared as I thought I was. I just have a little notes document. Okay, so review the last time I worked on this and see if I've fixed the bounce. So I think we worked on the credits that bounce on the one card, on the one segment of the demo. And I was thinking I was actually calculating, doing all sorts of fancy math to calculate that bounce, and it turns out I wasn't. I actually figured out kind of a clever way of doing the bounce. I can't remember exactly how. It stumped me when I came back to it last time we were doing this. Completely stumped me, and it was amazing that my past self, well, I guess it isn't amazing. I honestly, it was like a dream. I really had no idea what I was doing. And that's why it stumped me. But we were able to figure that out, found out that it works just fine. I was actually thinking about switching that out for a lookup table for that movement. So it just does a bounce, and then you have the arc up at the top, the ease in, and then the ease out, and then a bounce, which I was planning on replacing with the lookup table for that motion, which is really optimized and looks just as good. But I decided to just keep what we had there as kind of a relic of how insane that code was. I guess I'm giving it a little bit of reverence because it stumped me so bad. It took me forever to figure out what I was doing, and so we're gonna keep that. It runs fine, and once I figured it out, it's actually a good way of controlling when things come in and out of the scene, and so it's a miracle that I was even able to do that. So change the scroller text. So we're gonna just go in and figure out a new message for the scroller text. I noticed that the scroller could probably be bumped up a pixel or two. Fix the grid transition. So this one's going to be interesting because I had no idea what I was doing. In fact, I'm really surprised. So in between each card of the demo, each segment of the demo, there's this grid transition that happens. And I'll show this here once we get there, but it's supposed to be these blocks that just paint onto the screen. But instead, it's kind of this this cascading transition, and it's because I didn't know what I was doing back then. But I thought it was a cool effect, and so I kept it anyways. We're actually going to change that to what I originally planned on doing, and just having those paint in the blocks, fill up the screen, and then paint out. Yeah, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that point. Wow, that was incoherent. Then the last thing we'll do, and there's some more stuff I want to do. Yeah, we're going to drop the ribbons at the beginning because it's just slowing things down. I think I know how to fix that. I just don't want to. I don't want to do that today. We're just going to drop it. We have this cool sunset with these buildings. We built out a whole system for that last time, I believe, and so we're just going to use that. It looks good, the way it's set up. The one concern I have is maybe the color of the text at the end of that segment may not look good, so we'll take a look at that, and maybe we'll go modify that text, the pixel art. We'll go modify that. And the last thing, and I honestly have no idea why this is happening. I thought I woke up one morning and figured out what it was, but I didn't write it down, and so I forgot again. But when it loops, everything is gone on that first segment, and I don't know why. I think I know why now, actually. Maybe. We'll approach that when I get to it. Anyways, yeah, so that's our to-do list. But before we jump in, just a quick message from our sponsors. which is me. I have no sponsors right now, so I barely have an audience. Audience, if you're there, please say hello. I'd like to just say hi. But before we get started, just a quick shout out for my newsletter at JagCorner.com. JagCorner.com is just a landing page, which I update every once in a while. I'm a little bit behind on these YouTube videos, but if you want to find out a little bit more about our projects, you can go there. I write about some of the programming I'm doing, some of the tools that I use, some of the art projects that I'm on. I'm usually doing box art for some project for Atari Age or Songbird, and so if you're interested in that side of my life, I try to write about that. I have a few draft articles I need to go through and finish up, get those done. But most importantly, the thing I push the most is the newsletter, and the reason why is having your email allows me to contact you a little more directly, and in exchange I'm going to give you some behind the scenes stuff. I want to do special offers on things. I'm working on a book right now, and I'm working on some t-shirts as well, and I want to give everybody who's on that newsletter some deals through that. So it's nice to have a built-in audience where I don't have to rely on some social media platform where everybody's yelling and screaming for attention. I know that those people are going to see it. At least they're going to see the header of the email before deleting it, and so that's better than most social media platforms. But anyways, I don't know if you've noticed, I have a slightly different setup today. I moved the camera from over there to over here. My room was rearranged. The room I stream in was rearranged a little bit during this last week, and so I've had to change where the camera is. Unfortunately, it's on my table, and so it may shake a little bit. I'll try not to bump my table, but it should be fine. Anyways, let's get to coding. So where we left off, let's go ahead and run the demo. So I'm going to do a make reset, which resets the skunk, and let's do a make clean, and then a make. I actually want to do a clear here. Make clean, make, then we're going to have it sleep for 3 seconds because it takes a little bit of time for that skunk to reset. Actually, let's do 2.5 seconds. And then make skunk, and that just pushes it out to the skunk. So let's check that out. So last time we got I actually need to check my levels here and make sure we're good. There. Might be a little bit loud. There we go. Yeah, so we've added in that the sunset, the twilight background, and then the little buildings. We generated a part of our code to generate the city kind of randomly at the bottom. Oh yeah, the text looks pretty good actually. Anyways, and you'll notice that the audio changed there quite a bit. And that's because those ribbons are really slowing things down. It's actually because the ribbons are going so far off the screen that it's slowing down. So we're just going to drop those. So let's do that first. Turn the volume down on my TV here. Okay. I feel like the contrast is a little too high on that, but I guess it's okay. Okay. And you'll notice once the demo loops, we'll go to a blank screen for the first segment of the demo. And so we'll get to fixing that soon. But before we do that, let's just drop the ribbons. Ribbon. I think that's what I called them rainbow in code, if I remember right. Yep. So we have a few instances of that. I am just going to completely drop them from being added to the screen. Like that. Rainbow. Do another search. So there's where the rainbow is actually moving, so we got to get rid of all that. I'm just going to comment it out for now, because I may come back to this later and see if I can get it running quickly. So what I'm thinking to get that running quickly, we're not going to do it today, but just my thoughts. So right now they're just big wide sprites. I think if I just segment them into 32-bit vertical chunks and have them pop in and out when they're on screen, when they need to be visible, that will fix most of the slowdown issue there. Pretty sure. And please forgive me for my nose. I still working on that. A lot of damage happened last time I got sick, and so I'm recovering from that. Okay, so we have all those instances. I think there was something I missed. Rainbow 3 right here. So we don't need this rainbow delay, which I think that first instance is up at the top. Okay, I think that's it. Search one more time. There it is. There's that variable. So we're going to comment that out, and then in our header file we have our declarations. So rainbow, get rid of these, and we're actually going to drop it from our macro that loads that that builds our definitions in assembler. We're going to drop it from there as well. Just a second. Rainbow. There's our sprites. There are our sprites. And what's weird, so right now it's just a blank screen, but it is running. Everything's running, and I can tell because it slows down just like it does when you can see everything. And it doesn't crash the program. And so I know it's not a glitch or something. There's just some sort of have something hidden or something. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, we'll get that figured out. I kind of want to work on that right now, but I want to fight that urge because I want to do stuff that's actually interesting here for a moment because I may be stuck on that for a while, so I'll leave that until later in the stream. Okay, so we should have the rainbow pulled. Let's just do a quick make command down here and just make sure everything's making correctly, and it looks like it is, and we'll push this out one more time. There's a song that says that, right? Yeah, so there's our cityscape, which I think I want to put a little more space between those buildings. It sounds like it's running fine. And you know, that looks nice. Looks pretty good. You know, something we can do instead of those ribbons, we could do like some silhouettes of some birds flying or something. And I can just take those from Flappy McFur and drop those in. I already have an animation for that. Or we could do silhouettes of some clouds. That might look cool. Yeah, I'll think about that. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the stream. Not entirely sure if I want to do that yet. Okay. What's next on our to-do list? I'm gonna didn't do that. Did this. So done. Code, you guys didn't see that. Done. So that one's finished. Change the scroller text. Let's go take a look at that. That's going to be an easy thing to do here. So if we just go to BJ demo, I think it's just right up here. We have a character variable here that is defined specifically, and so we got to make sure that we change that and change it here too to make sure that that works correctly. Thanks to NeoRG for including our demo on his amazing SD card reader. And I don't know if he's going to be happy about me showing this. I don't know if he ever officially announced that he was doing an SD card reader. I don't think anything's come of that project that he started on for whatever reason. I don't know why he didn't finish anything. But he contacted me directly and wanted asked me if he wanted to include this, or asked me if it was all right if he include this on his as just kind of a set of homebrew apps and stuff that he could include on the SD card that came with this SD card reader. So we're gonna change this again. Originally, thanks to NeoRG thanks to the removers for their awesome libraries used to make this demo. Originally a PRG 2014 demo, but with a bit of polish. Small changes. Wow, I didn't even review this. Stay tuned for some creds, and it looks like everything's lowercase too, except for this first one. It's an uppercase font, and so I guess it doesn't matter too much. Stay tuned for some creds and look forward to more games from us in the future. Do the math and keep playing the Atari Jaguar. Awesome. BitJag 2018. Okay, we're gonna change this. Watch out. We're gotta need an escape character for that apostrophe. We're at it again. I don't know if I can do apostrophes actually with this font. I don't think I can. So we're gonna do, we are at it again. No, we are changing, we are updating this demo again. Now it runs with 64-bit power. Can you smell the fumes? And if you know that inside joke, so there's an inside joke for those who don't know that Matt Smith, good morning. It's good to see you. There's a bit of an inside joke in the forums, and I think it's a long-standing joke. It's been around for a while because the Jag community, if you ever get an opportunity, there's a website that has a bunch of old BBS conversations from the mid to late 90s, and they are quite entertaining about how serious people took things in regards to the Jaguar and what was happening. There were a lot of people that were frustrated with Atari going under, I believe, and there's all sorts of drama around Battlesphere and a bunch of things, and I think it comes from then, from that point in time. I think. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's kind of been a running joke that whenever there's somebody getting on the forums and talking about oh man, the Jag could have done so much, it was as good as the PlayStation, you know, stuff like that, really ridiculous stuff, you know. That the joke is that you post, well, somebody's been, you know, sniffing the not snuff, that's the wrong word, sniffing the fumes that come off from the Jaguar, and it causes this these psychological problems and stuff. So anyways, it's kind of a running joke, so we'll go with that. There's something else I want to look up here really quick. So I've been working on some t-shirts, and I'm thinking about working on that on stream with you guys at some point. Sorry, I'm pulling up a document in the background. I don't want to show the whole document here. But I've come up with some ideas, and I'm thinking that we might use some of them here in this scroller. So there's so this is kind of a very obscure joke related to Club Drive on the Atari Jaguar, and there's a character. Many of you may not know this. There's a character in Club Drive called Loaf Cat. If you know what I'm talking about, shout out in the chat, because it is quite funny. Well, it's not funny at all, but anyways, Loaf Cat is this. There's one level where your car's really small and you're inside this house driving around, and there's a cat chasing a mouse, and the cat is literally 3 cubes. It's a long cube for the body, a cube for the head, and a cube for the tail. and its nickname is Loaf Cat, and so maybe we'll do a reference for Loaf Cat. Let's do that. There's also I started my life in 8 bits. I will end it in 64. I have this joke where it's going to be a picture. I wonder if we can make a joke about how many buttons are on the Atari Jaguar controller. I can't have enough buttons on my controller. More bits, more buttons. That one might be good. More bits and more buttons on my controller, please. We could do something like that. You can never have too many buttons to push. No such thing as too many buttons. I kind of like the more bits, more buttons thing. Let's see if we can add that in with Loaf Cat somehow. Okay. Can you smell the... now it runs. What if we do no bits, or more bits, more bits, more buttons, and more fumes? Maybe we'll do that. That's good. Maybe we do a joke about Loaf Cat here. We spent few years consulting with Loaf Cat, and now our humble demo runs with 64-bit power. More bits, more buttons, and more fumes. Okay. We got to do the math joke. We are updating this demo again. We spent a few years consulting with Loaf Cat. Finally did the math. And now our humble demo runs on 64-bit power. More bits, more buttons, and more fumes, please. Let's do a dash. Now for some shout outs. Okay, who wants to be shout out in the demo? How about you, Matt? Matt Smith. I may change this later, but I figured this would be fun. Matt Smith. Who else is on? Dataset user. Dataset user. Who else? There was somebody else. Let me see if I can find it here really quick. Thanks. Yeah, not a problem. I'll leave you in. Hey, if you're all right with that, I'll leave your name in there. Let me know. Okay, there's some people that have commented pretty consistently. Oh, Paul Westfall. I like Paul. Paul. Oh yeah, we're gonna do CJ. Matt Smith. We're not gonna do commas. I think we're gonna do dashes. We're gonna see how that looks. I'm not 100% sure how good dashes look with this font set. Paul. In fact, I'm gonna put CJ first, Matt. Cyrano Jones. I believe that's how he says it. That's the character from the original Star Trek series. I actually finally sat down and watched the original Star Trek series a couple years ago. And I'm going to say up front, definitely not my favorite. There's a lot of episodes that repeat story points. Like, everybody seems to be God in the universe except for Captain Kirk. But he may be a god too, because he's always outsmarting these godlike aliens, and so it's fun. Like, I really enjoy the original series. Definitely a different time. Like, something I noticed was all the women are dressed pretty scantily, and it's definitely a 60s thing, which I'm not saying I'm opposed to. It's just something to point out. Definitely a different time. But yeah, the Trouble with Tribbles is a really good episode, and that's where CJ's name comes from. I think he's the guy that's actually peddling he's trying to take advantage of everybody in terms of their money, and he's the one that sells the Tribbles initially, I believe. So Paul, who else? Well, we got to call out a few other people that off the bat. So Albert at Atari Age, Carl at Songbird. Both those guys are awesome. Who else? There's a few. Let's see your comments. These are published comments, right? Yeah. Got a few. Oh, Wilco. Still can't say his last name. I think it's Ladens. Wilco Ladens. I know he chats quite often, so we're going to drop him in there. He can get mad at me later if he doesn't want his name. Social Gamer. He's been dropping by the streams quite a bit. You know what will probably happen? Is someone would be like, how dare you recognize that guy? Seems like I always get emails of people like, oh, you... that from toxic people that are just like, wow, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And it's just like, come on, isn't that serious, guys? Calm down. Oh, there's dataset user. He has 2 S's. Let's make sure I get that. Data set. He has 2. Maybe it's data's set user. Bazooka, JQ, Paul, oh, we're gonna do I think it's Bob Dunlock, but yeah, Lee Chapman. Yep, he's another good one. I like Lee Chapman. He doesn't stop by he doesn't stop by often, but I am aware of what he does. Okay, there's a few others. There's GGN. He's helped me out on the forums quite a bit. First guy is Seb of the Removers. Let's do of the Removers. I think that's how he's referred to himself that way before. And I think it's capital T, the Removers. GGN, Matthias. Oh, do I still have his name? Oh, I have the old text right here for the old demo. It's right above it. So I don't forget anybody. Yeah, Matthias Dahmen. He's done back in the early 90s or the mid to late 90s. He did a lot of work opening up the Jag for other people to develop on. So definitely don't want to miss him. I definitely want to do Seamus. He works on Virtual Jaguar, and I always have to call out Michael Hill, even though he's not involved anymore, as far as I know. But he actually created the first Linux image that I'm aware of that had built-in Jag development support with the Removers library. That's where I started. If it wasn't for him putting together that distribution of Linux, I probably wouldn't even gotten started on any of this. Not worry about Zero Square, Saturn, Songbird, Tercy, Jaguar, Atari Age. Yeah, that's probably good. I think we've gone way over that 358 character limit, which may be a problem in terms of the length. Let's find out. Let's see here. We have, this is column 19 to 467, so 467 minus 19 is 448. So yeah, we're almost 100 characters past. That's okay. Let's give it a try. Let's see what it does. Let's watch the demo. Let's run it again. Let's see here. Jag large. There we go. Let's watch it. I don't know if you're a father, Matt Smith, but if you are, happy Father's Day. I'm not a father yet myself, but hope you had a good weekend. I had a great weekend. It was great. Got together with family, and nearly everybody was there, and it was a great get-together. Really good. Okay, let's see what this scroller does. See if we crashed it. Watch out. We are... I need to change that. That's already wrong. We are updating this demo again. We need to change that. We spent a few years... Consulting's going to fit the whole screen. Let's see if it... Yeah, there we go. Consulting with Loafcat. Oh, finally. Did the math. Oh, those commas are kind of hard to tell that they're commas, huh? Maybe we'll go in and alter that sprite here a little bit. Let me put a note down so I don't forget. Change comma and font. Bits, more buttons. Yeah, my guess is this is going to be way too long. Find out here in a second. Now for some shoutouts. So we could change that to creds, because that's what the cool kids say, right? They put Z's at the end of everything. Very proud Dowd here. That's good to hear. Oh. Let's see here. Finally. Watch out, we're updating this demo again. Let's do that. Oh, Paul is wrong. So yeah, we got to be careful with capitals, it looks like. And our dash is low for some reason. Why is our dash low? That's weird. Dash sits low for some reason. We're going to check that as well. Yeah, so I have that on a timer, so we have to keep it short. So maybe we'll pull some names out. Okay, let's go back to coding so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's do just CJ. Actually, let's do reboot. That makes that a bit shorter. I changed, we need to take out all the capitals. That was causing a problem. I don't think the font set has quote-unquote capitals, because the whole thing is capitals. And it's actually, so we're just using the character codes for lowercase. And so we just got to make sure that we don't have any. So what I'm going to do is anybody who's not in the chat, we're going to pull out. So goodbye, Wilco. Sorry, you had your chance. Social Gamer, you had your chance too. We'll leave Lee in. I really like Lee. And I'm going to leave Matthias, Seamus, and Michael Helm. There's some of the classics, as I call them. The classics. Albert. And I'm just going to say we're going to do Al at Atari Age, because he does not mind going by Al. Get rid of capitals and Loafcat. Like that. Seb, we're just going to say Seb, because he knows who he is. He knows who he is. Get rid of that now. More fumes, please. We only have one space after punctuation, which I'm fine with. Make that a W, that W lowercase, this W lowercase. I guess what I could do, there's actually C code that, there's a function that will make everything lowercase. That's okay. We'll do it manually. Seamus! Yep. Okay. Let's see here. Who else are we pulling out? Is that a dataset user? You're gone. We're keeping Matt Smith in there. And everybody's going to go, who's Matt Smith? And then maybe they'll find this stream. Oh, that's Matt Smith. Okay, I think we may still be just a little bit long, like if you compare the lines here. And the reason why I don't want to change the timing is the timing is set up for the song to end pretty much where it's supposed to end. I don't have any fancy system for tracking the tracker that's playing the song back. And so I probably watched this way too many times to get that timing just right. And so I'm going to trust my past self. And yeah, we're just going to trust my past self on that. Okay, so 19 minus 385. And I should be able to do this in my head, but I'm being lazy. 366. So we are really close. It may work. Make sure I got all the capitals out. I'm pretty sure I got them all. Let me know if you see any typos. What we could do to get it closer. Well, what we could do is see, we don't want to go too short either. Yeah, let's do it. That's fine. Dataset user. Ah, he made it. Now we have to get dataset user in there. How you doing? Okay. Dataset user, you're going after Matt. ETTE user. Like that. Okay, you're in the demo now. Great timing. Okay, one thing we could do to shorten this up is actually just drop the spaces. I'm fine. Hope you are too. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm starting to not be sick anymore, which is great. Oh yeah, I'll be famous. Yeah, you'll definitely be famous in this demo. I need to go and see what the download count is at poet.net because that's the only place I've really been tracking it. And so this actually, where it is. Okay, I'm back. I probably dropped out there for a second. Not sure why. Hopefully it wasn't anything serious. Did you know if you hold Control and Backspace, it deletes a whole word? That's probably been around forever, but I just discovered that like a week ago, and it's really nice. I don't know if that's a Linux. I imagine it's been around on other platforms for a long time. Okay, 19 minus 379, which is 360, right? 379 minus 19. Yeah, 360. So we are really close. That may be close enough. Oh, we need to change this to 360 as well. In fact, let's do a search here for 358. Okay, there's no more instances of that. So I think we just need to update those two places and we should be fine. Okay. I think we have everybody. Let's check it out. Let's see if, well, those dashes aren't going to look very good right now. We need to go fix that. But we'll change that here next probably. Go fix that comma and the dash. The reason why I can actually make this demo go directly to that segment of the demo. The reason why I'm not doing is I want to make sure that the timing still works with the music and everything. So Oh, why isn't the W there at all now? That's weird. It's showing up there just fine. Huh. There's some sort of glitch going on. Not sure why that W wasn't showing up. It's got me a little concerned now. Consulting with Loafcat. Oh yeah. Finally did the math. Yeah, those commas definitely need to be changed. So, and now our humble demo runs on 64-bit power. Yeah, I don't know why the dash is sitting low like that. That is really weird. It's more buttons and more fumes. Please? Oh, I wonder if I have an exclamation mark. Pretty sure I do. We'll do it. Oh yeah, I do. It's at the very beginning. Cred, Seb, reboot. Oh yeah, I think that'll work. That dash. I just got to get it bumped up somehow. Something else I thought about doing with this card is instead of doing... Wow, man. I hope my playback isn't stuttery for you guys. I just noticed in OBS that it's kind of jittery. Anyways. Something I was thinking of doing is instead of doing the callouts in the scroller, just having a message there and then doing the callouts, having them flash in red in the background because I have that static thing going on. I thought that would look really cool. Maybe when I update this again in a few years, I'll do that. I'll switch to that. I'm not planning on ever coming back to this again, but I've come back to it twice now. So I'm not gonna... there's some sort of force outside of me that keeps bringing me back, so... Code by Laconius. Graphics by Laconius. Bounce, bounce. Music by Greg Toomey. Okay, I think we're probably good on the timing. Maybe. We should, because I force it to transition at a specific time at the scroller. Yep, there we go. Okay, and it goes blank on that screen for some reason. I'm not sure why. We'll get that figured out later. Okay, cool. I think we're good there. Let me get my graphics stuff set up. I was not planning on doing graphics today, but I will get that set up here really quick. Studio mode, graphics. There you are. Cool, and it's showing up. Studio mode, graphics. Okay, we're gonna just... Oh, I'll get this opened up in GIMP really quick. Fonts. Not that one. Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah, that's it. Open with GIMP. Okay, so here's our font. Nothing complicated. There's... Oh man, we may not be able to make that look more like a comma. But our dash, we can definitely fix that. Man, I wonder why... I don't remember it being down like that. It's really weird. So let's go ahead and pull that up here really quick. Just pull it up. Right there. That'll work. Anchor it back down. Fill this back in. There we go. Oh, see, what I want to do with this comma, I wonder, kind of want to bump it up. Well, I don't really want to bump it up, to tell you the truth. If we made it fatter at the top, I think that would help. So what I'm going to do is just bump this over a pixel like that. Fill that in. And I'm going to pull these over like that. I don't know, this may look worse. We'll find out here in just a moment. That may work. Okay, so what we need to do, now that we got that fixed, is I need to actually update it. So if we change our directory to our graphics folder and then our font folder, we'll see it there. It says Steel. It's the name of it. I think I made a custom font for this. I drew out the whole font for this one, I think. I may have taken another font and redid the colors. I honestly don't remember, so. And we just need to convert it again. Jag image converter. It has a color lookup table because it's 8 bits. It's RGB. And we want a binary. And we want to overwrite the existing conversion because there's already a steel.map. So steel.gif, and that should, uh-oh, that's not good. Let's see here. Oh man, I may not be able to convert this. File, no such file address. Oh, whoops. Forgot the L. There we go. Okay, so we should have, I actually don't know how to list. Oh, there we go. There's our dates. So yeah, it should have been updated. Steel.map. Yep, June 21st at 6:58 a.m. Okay, cool. So that's done. Let me navigate back to our source directory. There's our source directory. So that will be updated. What we need to check though is this right here. So we have our offsets, so this just tells whatever's printing our text on screen at what point in the map, the font map, that specific character is at. And so since this is the very last one, we just bumped it over a pixel. Actually, we don't need to change this, I don't think. I actually don't know exactly. So I'm pretty sure the ID in the array, so for example 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the ID correlates to a specific character in the array. My guess is he has an additional offset because, well, let's see here, let's find out. Let's go back over to our trusty browser and look up an ASCII table because that will tell us. So ASCII table. See if I can find a good example of one here. Yeah, this should work. Sure. So, assuming it's 0, which it isn't. Oh, 1 second. Let's see here. It starts at, our thing is probably starting here at 32 at offset, decimal offset 32 for our space, because everything before that is special. They call them token characters, I believe, and we're not using most of these. We don't need them, like a shift out, backspace. We don't need this unless we wanted to actually auto type things or something, and so we don't need that. We're probably using 32 to 90 is my guess. Plus a few more maybe for the dash. Unless the dash was earlier. The dash was probably earlier because most of the common special characters are used here at the beginning. When we're probably skipping something like 59 because I don't remember seeing those in the font map. Yeah, so yeah, those are probably all being skipped. They're probably still being represented in our array though. So if we go back here, well, let's find an example. Let's see if I can point one out here really quick. So if we want like the semi or this colon, so 58. So if we go to the 58th value in the array, it'll probably just be set to 0 is my guess. So luckily I have these numbered. So 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's actually, this is 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 0. So that's the colon and the semicolon. So those are 0. So we don't have to worry about those. So there is a system to this. So the very last one, 514. Oh, we just need to find comma, actually, in the ASCII table. Oh, sorry, you guys couldn't see that. So I was just counting here in the array to find that colon, and its value should be 0. So we go to 50, then 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's 0. And the next one's 0 too, because that's probably the semicolon, and then a bunch of other characters we aren't using after that as well. So if we come back here to our ASCII table, we just need to find our comma, which is right here, and 44. So if we go to the 44th value, 40, so there's 40, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the offset, and that should be the same because we just bumped it over so we could add another set of pixels. Something we need to change is its width, though. So if we come down here and find the corresponding value for under the font width for that, we can add a pixel to it. So 40, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? It's 25 pixels wide? Oh, that's probably the minimum for a comma, which makes sense. So let's make it, actually we can leave it as it is, technically. That's actually a little surprising that it's that wide. Wonder why I'm doing that. Let's check out the demo, and I'm actually going to change the position of the demo. So demo position 9, and we actually change it at the end because that's where it checks. That way it just it'll jump right to the part of the program we want to take a look at. Oh, whoops. There we go. Just check it out. So our font should be updated, our dashes should be good, and our commas should be a little more recognizable. And I don't know why that first W isn't showing up, so we'll need to fix that as well. Exclamation mark look fine. There's the period. I kind of want to drop the period down. That'll help differentiate it between the comma as well. Get to a comma here. Man. Our first comma, loaf cat. There's our first comma. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a little more recognizable. You know, I could put in a special case. Oh, we do need to change the width. I noticed that there are some pixels missing on the right side. What I don't understand is how that 25 correlates to that. That is a little weird. Let's see here, 44. Let's check something here really quick. 40, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 233 on that font map. Which is interesting because it's showing pixel 812. So there's something I'm missing with the font map. I'm not sure how it's actually working on this. Oh, those dashes look fine, don't they? I like that. So we're going to keep those dashes look a lot better. Okay, back to code here really quick. So let's go find our scroller code and see if we can glean how that's even being done. I'm going to look at the header here first. There's a draw box, copy box, font, text, text length, character width, and offset. So those are probably being set all the time, loop count, and done. Okay, that's simple there. Go to the scroller, init scroll, update scroll. Character width. So I remember that this is how it shifts it to the left. Remember that. Copy straight. Yeah, we're copying the whole thing and shifting it over. I remember that. It blows my mind it's copying it that fast. Really shouldn't. I know I was saying this last time too, but it really is unusual that it's able to copy that fast. Draw box x equals 380. That's where it's drawing the new character. And it's just getting the offset. Graphic offset. So that must not be comma. That's the only thing I can figure. And then it just copies it over. So yeah, doesn't look like there's any weird offsets except for this 32, which is just the ASCII table offset. Character width. Here we go. Plus font kerning. So we can set the kerning on here. That's interesting. So the width. So in the case of comma, it'll be 25. What's this W? Where is that? IDX. Font character widths IDX. Okay, so that's 25 plus kerning, which is whatever. It's probably just being a nit up here somewhere. Kerning. It doesn't even look like it's being a nit anywhere. Yeah, it's a little weird. Anyways, so yeah, pretty sure kerning is not being set anywhere. May want to take a look at that. Then character off. Oh, I wonder if that might be causing an issue. Actually, because hasn't been set anywhere, as far as I know. Let's do this. Let's search font kerning across our program. See, okay, so it's probably being set. Oh no, in the demo somewhere. Yep, there it is. So it's being set to 2. That's good to know. Okay. And then the character offset. Else if loop count. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So this is being ran for each character until the end of the scroll. Character offset. What I don't understand is why we're setting the character offset here at the end of this. That is a little weird. Oh, it's for the next character because it loops back and then it's set here, it looks like. Okay, that makes sense. What still doesn't make sense to me is looking at these offsets. So I'm going to double check, make sure I'm looking at the right thing according to my ASCII table. Comma should be 44. Our dash is 45 as well, so we can check that as well. Close that. So 44. Assuming this is right. 41, 2, 3, 4. So 233 and 258. These numbers don't make sense to me. Offsets. Okay, offsets. Where are you? There you are. Character offset. So that's the only place that's being set. That it's pulling that value for our text. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, there may be a bug here, and that's why our W isn't showing up when we init. It's probably something right here, so we'll come back to that. And that's just the initialization of the structure, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, that is bizarre. Oh, whoops. There we go. It's almost like it's adding. So when I set the graphic here, right here, it sets the character offset. So it's only going to be 200. That is bizarre. If we do copy straight from Drawbox, the width. See, some of these are really small, and these make sense to me. These bigger ones, see, I think we're looking at the wrong character. Because 41, 2, 3, 4... It's not supposed to be grabbing 25 pixels for the comma. It's going to be a lot less than that. It's going to be something like 4 or 5. So I do not think we're looking at the right value. Oh, I need to do minus 32. That's why, yeah, duh. Okay, so it's going to be 32 minus 44, which is 12. I did that in my head. 12, 0, 2. Okay, this is making so 12. So 10, 11, 12, 608, and 808. That makes a little more sense. I still don't think those are the right values, but it gets us closer. Because if we go back here to our graphics, I can come down here, and you'll see down here in the bottom left, down here where my cursor is pointing, you'll see the pixel value, and it should be setting the value to this right here, which is 812. Yeah. 812 for the comma. And then the next one was, what was it? 808, which is right here, which is the period. So we know that that's probably the period. That one's 2 more down. Oh, that's the dash. Sorry, I was off by 1. So 608, 812. There it is. Found it. Okay, and this needs to be 1 more pixel. Figured it out. Okay. So there weren't 32 other values before we started on the values that we actually have characters for. I needed to subtract the ASCII value of 44 to get the actual ID and the array that we were looking at. So that was a dumb mistake. I should have realized that because I was talking about it earlier. We got it though. We got it. So that's 5 pixels wide now. One more thing I want to do with the graphics here is bump this period down. Come on. So it's down at the bottom. Like, yeah, down at the bottom. That's fine. Save that again. And we need to convert it again. So let me see if I can just, oh, whoops. CD, BJ. See if I can get to it here relatively quickly. Like that. And then let's run. Oh, the W. I need to find out why the W isn't printing. I think one way I can fix that really easily is just adding a space here. And so we just need to make sure that we bump this up to 361. Actually, I'm going to double check my math on this because that may have been the problem too. So 19 is our column minus 380, which is 361. That's correct. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a null terminator at the end of this. Just so that's safe. Let's see if that space at the beginning helps out. Run. Sorry, I forgot to switch over. That's okay. I was just changing that text just a little bit. Oh, look at that. It is printing some garbage characters for some reason right at the beginning. Part of the @ symbol, which is interesting. I think that was the @ symbol. Let me run that again. That looks like the @ symbol, doesn't it? Pretty sure it is. So it's, for some reason, it's starting right here at pixel 560 or 561 instead of, well, it's whatever that first character is, which I imagine is just a garbage character. It's getting the wrong width or something. Or maybe my space isn't correct. Let me go back to my ASCII table. Space is supposed to be 32 directly, so it should just be character 0. Yeah, that is bizarre. So I'm going to take a look here for a moment. So we knit the scroll at the beginning of the program. Clear the screen. We set the ID to 0. That's just the first character, right? Character width. It's almost like it's printing 2 characters. That is a little weird, isn't it? So the widths plus kerning. So this is going to be, well, let's go take a look at our lookup table. It's going to be 0 on the offset and 8 pixels wide on the width. That makes sense because it's a space character, right? So it's going to be the first character and it's going to be 8 pixels wide. Let's go take a look at something really quick just to make sure it isn't a problem with our graphics. If I count this, is this 8 pixels wide? Yes, it is. It's 8 pixels wide. You can see it right here, size 8 pixels. So yeah, that is correct. So that's fine. For some reason, oh, it's 8 pixels plus kerning, which is 2 pixels. That still doesn't make sense. It would copy over a part of the A if that were the case. So width plus kerning. And here's the other thing. That first character. Oh, you know what? It's probably not drawing. Oh no, it should be drawing that first character. Yeah, so we just need to make sure it's set up here correctly the first time. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Here, I'm going to comment out this kerning and just see what that does. Because the issue with setting the width with the kerning on the space is that there is no... Oh no, the kerning should be... Yeah, that isn't going to change anything. The kerning is just the position with FB2D where it's painting from inside of the final canvas, this final buffer where we're actually going to display the scroller, that buffer. What it's doing is it's just shifting an extra 2 pixels before it draws the next thing. So yeah, that isn't going to affect anything. Yeah, that's definitely not an issue. Character width. Minus. Draw box. And we draw the whole thing, that's correct. We're just shifting it over, that's fine. Yeah, all this is fine here, I'm pretty sure. Fairly sure. Loop count does not equal 0. So once that draw box 380 character offset. Huh. Draw box, the width. Here, we're gonna do something really quick because well, no, I'm pretty sure it's drawing that space because we have spaces elsewhere in the program. What I don't understand is why it's drawing part of the @ symbol. Actually, I am gonna do this, so just so I can see what's going on. I'm just gonna put some garbage here, so I know it's a space. Do that conversion again. And let's check that out. Some weird glitch. Yeah, it's not even drawing the space. It's drawing a completely different character. It's drawing the @ symbol. For some reason, that first ID is not correct. Why wouldn't it be correct? I may not be copying over the text correctly. Text length. Text equals text. We're just setting it there. Why is our first character? See, I think I can fix this right here. So if I go S text equals, and I can just give it a space. So like that. And the first ID. I think this will fix it. Sorry, I didn't show that. So all I did is when I initialized the scroller, I forced a space in that first value. And it didn't work. That is interesting. The space is definitely working. It's just that first character, there's an issue somewhere. Alright, oh, whoops. Try that one more time. I'm gonna force the first two characters. Okay. It's just not painting that first value for some reason. Text ID is set to 0, so that's right. Well, it's painting something. It has to be painting something. Loop done. Text ID is 0. Are we advancing that text ID before we copy? No, it's only done here. I don't even know if our first character is not being painted at all. And that's because it does a countdown with this character width. So what I'm thinking, let's give this a try. Make this a 0. I'm going to get rid of these. And that way it's going to paint this first one for sure. Gosh, it should just be doing it because it's not advancing the text ID until it paints that first character. Let's see, our character width equals 0. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see here. Width. Where is it? Where is it? Here. As font character widths. Yeah, that's correct. We're good there. So all I did was is I changed this initialization so our character width starts at 0, so that first character should oh wow. Why would that even break it? That is weird. Goes here. Oh, because it goes to a -1. That's why. So I need to set this to 1. I need to check. No, I'm not going to change that. I'm going to go if because I should have this anyways. All my tabs are messed up here. If s dot char width is greater than 0, then do that. That way this will never go below 0, basically. Because what it was doing is it was hitting this function going to -1, and so it was never hitting this if statement, which actually draws the character because it was -1, and there was no case for correcting for that, basically. And this prevents it from ever becoming -1, basically. So should work fine now. Built. Oh, sorry, you guys didn't see that. I'll show you that here in a moment. Okay. Still have the same problem, but that's working fine now. What's weird about this is it's getting the right width to draw. It's not getting the right offset position. Text. So just to show you what I did, I added this if statement that just makes sure that this character width variable never goes to -1. That's all I did. So, okay, draw box, copy box, x equals 1. Why do I change that? That's weird. Why does this go to 1 and then to 0? Oh, that's how I'm doing the shift. That's right. Here, I'm gonna block this and put a comment that says shift scroller to the left so I don't forget. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that's just our shift. Text, this is how it gets the offset for the character width. Character offset, where is that being set? Ah, right there. That's why it isn't working. So what I need to do, well, shouldn't it be doing it here, right at the beginning of the program? Let's figure out where this is occurring in our main loop. Init scroll. Case 1 main scroller. So it's initting correctly here. That is correct. Huh. And I don't think character offset, yeah, it's not being changed in our main loop anywhere. It's just in these functions. What I could do is just set this to 0 because I know it's a space. Should be setting it to that anyways. For some reason it isn't. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. Okay, so yeah, that forces it to work. I think I just realized we are not allocating. We need to be copying this text over because this is just a pointer. The issue is, oh no, it's fine. We're already allocating that text. That's fine. So, that is bizarre. Why that isn't working. why would it be having a problem with that? Because it's just a pointer. Font. This is a pointer as well, so that should be fine. Character pointer, good. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. That is bizarre. Text. Text length, that should be correct. I don't think that would affect anything. Pretty sure. Character offset is text, the first character in that text. Oh, something we could test is instead of using our structure, we just point to the text directly there. And I don't update it here on the first round. Let's give that one a shot. See if that resolves the issue. Because I'm thinking it's getting, no, same problem. It's almost like it's not being initialized. My block of text isn't being initialized correctly. That was not what I was expecting there. Because it's getting another value somewhere. Here, let's see if we can print that value. Do I have? I don't know if I have the console set up for this console. Can't remember. Oh yeah, I do. That's good. So header, looks like I have a file there, and I can set this to extern so it's accessible by the other header files, and add it here. And then I can print a value. So I want to print it right at the beginning. Excuse me. So get this. We're going to see what value it's printing. That isn't going to tell us a whole lot, but it will confirm that there's something other than the value of 0 being put into that first value in that array, because I suspect that that's what's going on. Just printing a digit, and it's S. Give me just a second, I'm figuring this out. It's this is the value we want to print, because that's what we're passing here in order to get the offset. And for some reason this first value, so value 0, is not what it should be. It should just be 0 because that's the offset for space in our font map, but it's something else. So I'm expecting to see something else. I want to confirm that that's what's going on here. Oh, wait a second. That isn't what's going on, because we tried to force a value into that position. Well, let's do this anyways. See what it looks like. I need to custom. Where am I adding that in? Oh yeah, custom. Right there, debug console. Sorry, I wasn't switched over to code there. I'll show you what I changed here in just a second. Error scroll has no member named S. Something missing. Oh, whoops. Just doubled up on that. Unknown type name file. Oh, I need to add... oh, that's weird. I don't have it there either. How am I opening it up there? Because I should have a console. I'm not including console. Oh, did it not like that? Well, that's fine. Because if I add this to this, it should work. Yeah. Okay, so just to show you what I did, is we're just printing out a value. If I can find it. There we go. So right here, I'm suspecting that this value isn't, it's supposed to be 0 because we have a space at the very beginning. I suspect that it isn't 0, but I'm starting to suspect now that that isn't true. It will be 0. There's something else going on. Let's see here. Offset. Oh, IDX. I need to check that. It's 0 here. That's fine. 0. Yes. Perhaps not. This may not be correct. Text. Then we're minusing that value by 32. Sorry, I'm just making sure that the ASCII table is a tricky thing because we have an offset because we're not using all the other special tokens in the ASCII table. So 32 makes that 0, which is correct. Oh, I wonder. No, that shouldn't cause a problem. I don't think it will. Let's check this out. I missed it. I think we reset it. I missed it. Okay, see if it's working. No, same problem. Oh, I wanted to see the console though. Why did that not show up? Custom. There it is. Console. Why isn't that printing? It's at the highest layer. 3. Let's see here. It's big. It's a pixel. I can't remember what this value is. Should be working. Oh, no, that should be correct because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so this is pixel, this is our X, our Y, this is the ID, I'm pretty sure, in the color lookup table. So yeah, it should be white. So we should be seeing it. And it's 40 and 4. Here, let's make this like 20. This should just cover up the whole screen with a black box. Should. Yeah, so that's working. It's just not printing for some reason. Let's do a test print here just to make sure we can see the font. Print to the console. Test. Yeah. Just make sure that that's there. Yeah, it's not printing anything. So that probably means that our color isn't correct. So I just need to go Tom regs color lookup table 1 value 1 value 1. Come on. There we go. I got a new keyboard and I'm still getting used to it. Equals 0x, and we want it to be just pure white. Excuse me. Why are we not seeing that? That is bizarre. We should be seeing that come up on the console. Yeah, I don't know why that isn't coming up. That is really weird. Am I missing something with my print command? I'm pretty sure I'm not. Let's see here. See if something's coming up. Warning, no effect. Post a declaration. Yeah, it should be showing up. Don't know why it isn't. Man, this is the simplest of things. This should just be showing up. Console. Here, let's do something here really quick. That should be fine. Oh, I wonder if it's hidden. Because I have some functions I've been running. Let's see here. Let me find it. Show hide. I think that, or let's look for hide. I have some functions I've been using to move the layers. Doesn't look like I'm hiding anything though. Let's see here. Screen tools. Didn't I bring those functions? Yeah, hide or show display right there. That's what I'm looking for. I thought I was using those, but maybe I hadn't added. Yeah, I haven't added them in yet. I was thinking that that might be our culprit, but yeah, I haven't even used those anywhere in the program. Custom. It's going to the display. That's correct. 40, 20, 15. Yeah, that's layer 15. That should be fine. It's 40 columns wide, 40 rows or 20 rows tall. Here, let me go double check. Make sure I'm reading these parameters correctly. Oh, this is a terrible way to end the stream here on something that shouldn't even be a problem. Console. Open custom console. So display XY, yeah, so that's correct. I am reading the parameters correctly. Maybe there's a bug somewhere else that's keeping it from printing on the screen. I've never had that behavior before with the console. It's pretty solid. It's pretty robust. I didn't save that, I don't think. Let's try it again. Pretty sure this syntax is correct. Yeah, it's just not wanting to show up for some reason. Make sure it's not hidden or something. That is bizarre. So I'm just checking the palette here to see if it's just the palette color being reset or something. Oh yeah, that was the problem. Okay, so it is just a palette value. That means we need to force our palette. So what I'm gonna do is force our palette right at the print command, just to make sure it's correct. There's that. Set this back down to 0. We should be able to see it now. Yeah, so 32. That is the correct value. Pretty sure. Yeah, that's our space. So yeah, back to what we were trying to troubleshoot. The right here, I was expecting this to be a value other than 32, but that's not the case. So that first character, for some reason, is being corrupted at some point. Because it shouldn't change between here and here before it paints that first value, but I think it is being changed somewhere. So let's find that. Update, what was it? Update scroll. Yeah, right there. So let's just go in line by line. These are all sprites. I'm not worried about those. So we have our init scroll right here. So it's setting it to a value of 32, which when it hits the update scroll, it does a minus 32, sets it to 0, and selects the first offset value in our array up here, which is offset 0, which is correct for space. It shouldn't be whatever amount of pixels before that @ symbol, or the @ symbol. It's for some reason it's setting it to. Let me see if I can find that here really quick. The @ symbol is ASCII 40, or sorry, 64 minus 32, which is 32. That makes sense. Oh, okay. Maybe, I think I know what's going on now. If I can find it. Okay. So this is, it's being set to 32, correct? We just proved that. What isn't happening, let me see if I can confirm this, is our, right there, character offset, character, oh wait a second. S font, character offsets, IDX. Okay, yep, that's what's going on. So we do this when we set our offset for our ASCII table up here. That isn't happening up here to begin with. So we just need to add. We can bring this back here. Figured that out. Awesome. Glad we figured this out. This needs to be text minus 32. Like that. That should fix that problem. In fact, I am like 90% sure, and I'm gonna look like a fool here because I'll probably end up not being the solution. That's okay. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's correct. So let's run it again. See it in full screen. There we go. It worked. Let's go back and change. I'm glad we've got that figured out. I wonder what I was doing before to compensate for that. I'm not sure exactly what I was doing. That made it so that that bug wasn't manifesting itself. But okay, so I'm gonna go. I removed that space here at the beginning of our declaration for our scroller text, and I'm gonna go back to our graphics here and just Control Z all that. Export it again, and then we need to convert it again. Where are you? There you are. And we should be good. We should have a W right at the beginning. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry. You guys couldn't see what I was doing there. Should all be working now. There it is. Awesome. Good. Got that figured out. Took way too long, but we did get that figured out. We got a few more minutes here. About 10 or 15 minutes. Let's see what else on our little to-do list we can get finished. So, scroller text, done. Change comma and font. That is done. Dash sits low for some reason. We fixed that as well. Done. And okay, bump the scroller up a pixel or two. I think we just need to bump it up 1 pixel. Let's do that really quick. So, where is that being set? might be just in our initialization. Alex simple screen. Nope, it's not there. Clear screen. Yeah, definitely not there. It's probably being done right around our first case. So right here. Console scratches. Attach init scroll. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know where our scroll sprite, where that's actually being attached to the display. Let's see if we can find it here. Scroller grid square steel font. That's a phrase. Oh, that's our console scratches. Scratches bot grid frame static. Huh. This is interesting. I am a bit confused. There it is. Sprite move box. That's what we're looking for. Search and replace. Let's see where all that is. Scroll C, move on sprite of screen, and this is our position. 0, 0 there, but it's being set somewhere else. Right there. Y50. So set it to 49 pixels. Just bump it up a pixel. So that's done. Fix the grid transition to get it working as expected. Oh, can we do that right now? Oh, we're gonna try. Let's go check it out. So let's figure out how our transition is even happening. Position. I assume I just have a function that's running that. Let's see here. I'm not seeing anything. Let's see if there's a function here somewhere. Transition grid, phrase grid, tran wipe. Well, let's see where it's at least getting defined in our program. Oh, this isn't too helpful, is it? Oh, I do have a function for this. Okay, yeah, I have a source file. I should have looked at that first. Grid out. Let's see here. This is a function. Oh, why did I do this? Oh, I did it so I could add comments. The vertical offset of each block of the transition to overlap the sprite if we needed. The horizontal offset of each block of the transition. Space count. Counter used to compare again the amount. Wow. The amount of spaces we should cover will change depending on sprite size. Sprite width, so then the width and the height of the sprite being used, the source screen, and then the target screen. So this is what actually shows up on our display, which is okay. Hopefully this is straightforward. In is 0, out is 1. Let's figure out what my past self was doing here. So transition out, draw the grid. If we do the source screen, target screen, the sprite width. Okay, so we're gonna need to find where this is actually being invoked in our program. So 20. So I think I know what our problem is already. I think. So when using no, that shouldn't be a problem actually. Never mind. Let me double check this really quick. Vertical offset of each block of the transition. So 20. That's 2020, right? There. That's what I'm looking for. Here, I'm going to copy this out just so I can see it along with the source code here. I'm just going to comment it out so it doesn't prevent our program from building. So 2020, and this makes sense because our sprite, our little grid sprite, is 20 by 20 pixels as well. our source screen. I think our issue is our source screen. And the reason why I think that's an issue, and we're going to double check that here, is because it's 20 pixels wide. When our screen buffers, you're limited to certain widths that it likes and ones that it doesn't like. And so usually my rule of thumb, if it isn't divisible by 8, it's probably not going to work. And 20 is not divisible by 8. So let's go check to see if 20 pixels is a valid buffer width. And the way we can check that is by going to the removers library source header files and opening up it's screen.h, if I remember correctly. Yep. And if you scroll down here, it'll show you valid pixel values, and it looks like 20 is valid, so that isn't the problem. I was kind of hoping that would be the problem, because that would have been a really easy fix. So we'll continue here. 193 space count. So apparently that's how many grid blocks we're painting, which is kind of a silly way to do this. Today, what I would do with this is I'd say, okay, how big do you want the grid be? How big do you want the grid to be with an X and Y value, which I might be doing. Spaces, sprite. No, I'm not doing that right now, it looks like. And so, for example, if these are 20 by 20 pixels long, 320 divided by 20, which is 16, I'd be 16 by 12. That's what I would send through. And just paint the grid that way. But we'll keep it the way it is now. I understand what's going on. Hopefully I understand what's going on here. Find out. Transition out the grid. We're just copying transparent. Target screen, horizontal offset. Where is that coming from? Space 20. So just every 20 pixels go over. If it goes over that, if it goes to 320, we set it to 0, which is fine. And the Y is, when we go down, so this should actually be working. This shouldn't be a problem. Here, let's check one more thing. Our target screen, which is trans screen, it looks like. Let's make sure that width is set correctly. Screen, new screen. Yes, looks like it's a problem potentially as well, because this is 340, which may be an invalid width. So let's go check that, see if we can set it to 340. And we can't set that to 340. It can be either 320 or 384. Let's go ahead and set it to 320, because I don't think we're painting outside of 320. I kind of want it to be a little bit larger though, because for the overscan, to make sure we're covering up the overscan. Let's do 320 first. I can come in. I'm going to put a note in here that says make transition wider to cover overscan, just so I don't forget that. And let's set this to 320. That may fix the problem here. Screen. Let's check that. See what it does. Can I see that at the beginning? I can't remember. Yeah, it doesn't show up at the beginning. Can I just have it come in? Oh, I can change the timer for this section, I believe. If I can find it. See if we can find it here really quick. I assume I'm setting up a timer. Oh, I think it's just, yeah, I have a clock here. Pass or clock. CPU cycles per second time. If time is greater than 30, scratch the screen. We're just tracking the time there. run our transition out greater than or equal to 151. So I can set this to like 35. Oh, let's do this. It's at least 3 seconds before you break out of the case. Okay, I'm gonna comment that out. We're gonna do 3 here, or 35. And that should give us our transition a little bit quicker, so we don't have to watch the whole scroller before seeing the transition. Let's see what it does here. Did it have... Time... Oh, there's probably a bunch of other values here. Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, this should be transitioning out. Why isn't it? That's weird. Let's just do this one. Greater than 1. Should just transition out. There might be something else preventing the transition. Yeah, there's definitely something preventing it. Oh, there we go. Hey, it's working. Yeah, so that was a pretty easy fix. I almost want to change the width on that here really quick. Let's go ahead and do that. Shouldn't be too hard, so we just need to go to where we adjusted the... see if I can find it. Where is it? What did we search? We searched... Oh, we searched... Where is it? Header... No, not scroll. There we go. Trans screen, that's what we searched. There it is. Okay. What file is this in? This is in... It was in the main file. Oh, I was in the scroll file. That's why I wasn't seeing it. What was that valid value? 384. So let's set this to 384. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint one more square. Whoops. We're going to paint one more square. Did I? Yeah, thought I did. Accidentally. 384. There we go. We're going to paint one more square for each row. And there's probably going to be a few things we're going to have to change here. So we want to go an extra square here. So 340 there. That may be all we need to do. Oh, transition and clear the grid. Oh, okay, so transition out means we go to the grid, and transition in means we bring in the next segment. It's good to know. Mode 0. So I think this will paint in our squares. There's still something we need to change down here. There's something... Oh, it's because it's painting it backwards. That's right. Oh, the other thing we need to do is we need to add some more spaces. So right now, let's go. We are doing 193. It seems like a weird value for what we're doing, because let's see here, 240. I want to get the vertical offset as well. Let's make sure our screen is tall enough. So 260. So I am accounting for that. So it's 13. It's 16 by 13, the grid that we're painting. 16 by 13, but we're going to be adding an extra one. So 16 times 13. See, we should be painting 208 squares. I kind of want to change that here. So find 193. 16 times 13. 208. 208. I'm curious to see Yeah, I'm doing that in a bunch of places. Let's do this really quick, because I'm bringing in that... Oh, I'm not. What I want to do is add a define here for grid transition grid size. That way I only have to change this in one place. So we want it to be 208. Transition grid size. Come over to here. And we can just replace that. 208. There as well. Just wanted to make sure I got that one. 193. Fine, 193. 193. Yeah, I would definitely do this function differently nowadays, but it's fairly straightforward, so we're going to keep it the way it is for now. Okay. Okay, got those swapped out, and I don't think it's going to build right now because it's not going to know what that define is. Yeah, because we haven't included that. Oh, well, we didn't save it either. Oh yeah, it's fine. We're including it somewhere. Somehow it knows about that. So we're fine with that. 208. Okay, I'm kind of scattered here a little bit. So that's 340. Less than 20. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Equals 320. This needs to be 320. And that should be fine. We should be good to go. I'm not sure how it's determining where to start painting at the bottom of the screen when we transition out. Let's take a look at it, see what it's doing. See if this works. Well, that's fine. And that's fine. Looks good. We're good. Transition great. So we would need to hard test this to make sure it doesn't crash the program. I'm wondering if I could do that here really quick. Nah, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that today. But okay, I think we're done for today. I'm going to change one more thing so I don't forget, because I know I'll forget. At the beginning of the demo, I was just going to change, make sure. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, cool. I'm glad we got that grid working. Let's mark that off of our to-do list just to get that gratification. There we go. Marked off. Okay. Well, let me go to my large camera so you can see my beautiful face. Thanks for joining me today. And Matt Smith, dataset user, you have been immortalized in the scroller text. I'll keep your names in there if you're fine with that. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be there's a couple more things we need to finish up tomorrow, which won't take the whole day or the whole stream. I may just in fact, the last thing I have left to do is to figure out why that first card isn't showing up after a loop. And so what we're gonna do something else tomorrow. We're gonna be done with this. So I'll just show off the demo tomorrow to show that everything's working, and then we'll do something else. And I'm not sure what that is yet. Maybe we'll do some painting. Yeah, that's what we'll probably end up doing. I'll let you know tomorrow. Otherwise, thanks for joining. Again, if you haven't signed up for that newsletter, which I think you guys probably have, but if you haven't signed up for that newsletter, if you're new, go check that out. It's at JagCorner.com. There's links in the description for all that and all the social media stuff. There hasn't been a whole lot of Jag news on the social media channels that I've felt is worth posting about. I have been retweeting a few things, but yeah, I try to keep up on that. on the social media streams, just with news from Atari Age and from other people doing stuff. Things have been a little bit slow lately. We had some big releases with Asterite and Gravitic Mines over the last few months, but things have slowed down a little bit. But things will pick up again soon. I'm just trying to think of what's there's been, I know Phobos has announced like 3 different games, so he's working on that, so there's stuff coming down the line there. Atari Age has some more releases coming down as well. Yeah, a lot of stuff to look forward to. Look forward to tomorrow morning. I'll be back, and we will see you then. Thanks again. Bye.